Hi guys. So this week's topic is on the reactions of people when they found out or you told them about your eating disorder. I'm not gonna start from the very beginning, but the reason that I picked this topic, excuse me, it took a while to pick it actually. And I guess the reason was it's because the reactions I got from the people closest to me really annoyed me, I guess, irritated me, and I guess I just wanted to see what other people's views were, how they viewed other people's reactions, etc. Anyway, sorry, my cat's distracting me. Here she comes. This is Wednesday. Yeah. Okay. Well, my cat is very distracting. Most people, before I went to my first hospital, the only people that knew about my eating disorder or any of my self-injury or any of my mental illnesses were my youth pastor and his wife, my pastor and his wife, and my mom. Other than that, nobody knew. So no one at school, none of my friends, none of the rest of my family knew anything about my mental issues. Once I got into the hospital, that is when everybody found out. My mom had to explain where I was, so my dad found out, my grandmas, my aunts, my uncles, my sister, everyone found out. And of course, everyone at my school found out. It was a small school, so if I started missing weeks of school, they're gonna wonder why. And for them, I didn't want to come back to school and have to answer a bajillion questions. And my choir and drama were supposed to go on tour, so I was supposed to go with them, and I couldn't because I got thrown in the hospital. So what I did was I wrote a letter to them, so then I didn't have to do any explaining when I got back. So that's how they found out. So once I got out of the hospital, everyone knew. People at school and my friends, they're pretty supportive. A lot of them, though, they're very careful what to say. They didn't know what they should say. Which was okay. I didn't really have anything wrong with that. The really irritating ones probably came from my family. For instance, my dad. I know it was just him trying to be better, but once he found out about maybe in the hospital, my suicide attempts, my self-injury, my eating disorder, and all that, he tried to be a bigger part in my life. And I don't mind that. It just irritated me that it took me doing those things for him to do that. Sorry. I don't know. I mean, it was good, but irritate me. Does that make sense? I mean, it's like it takes someone realizing that you could have been gone in an instant for them to recognize that they want to be a bigger part and spend more time. I just hate that it took that in order for a more close bond to happen. Another thing that irritated me was because he was very careful of, didn't want to say the right thing, and was confused about that. How he introduced me to people kind of came out wrong, and you might think that when he said isn't watching what he's saying. I know, I'm confusing you right now. I'll just tell you how he did it, and then I'll explain. For instance, we were at a Christmas party, and he was talking with a friend, and I was coming over. So he's like, we're talking, and he's like, you remember Angela? And he's like, And he's like, yeah, that's my daughter that tried to kill herself. I was like, yeah, thanks, Dad. That's just how I wanted to be introduced to people. So, but him, he didn't mean it that way. It was just, I don't know. He was so focused on not saying the wrong thing that he said the wrong thing. So, yeah, I mean, I can laugh about it now, but at the time it's like, yeah, that's what I want to be introduced as. I want people to think of me as the one who is mental, and tried killing herself, or the one that had an eating disorder, starved herself, etc. That's, yeah. So that kind of irks me. But, and then there's, for example, my aunt. Every time I went over in that area to spend time, would be at eating and be like, why don't you eat some more? Or she would hug me, and, not just a normal hug, but she'd hug me and then, like, rubbing back and be like, you're kind of bony. Are you sure you're eating? That irritated me so much. And, so, yeah, I hated when people hugged me because it was like they're checking up on me by feeling my body. And if they could feel bones, they're like, you're kind of skinny. I guess what irritated me the most is the fact that everybody treated me differently. They tried to change who they were. They didn't act normal. They were trying to be somebody that they weren't in order to try not to upset me. But by doing so, they upset me. I don't know, does anyone else find this annoying that people around them don't act normal because they're afraid to be around you? They don't want to say the wrong thing. They don't want to do the wrong thing. So they don't act like who they are. And it freaking annoys me because I'm like, be yourself. Don't change because you're afraid of my mental status. Sure, there are things that I might want you to change, but don't do it because of how because they fear that I'm going to kill myself over something that they say or do or whatever. Because that just makes things worse. I want them to be who they are, not change themselves because they think they need to just change around me. And then away from me, they're their normal selves. I don't know. I just find it irritating. I want people to be themselves. I'd rather them be honest than act like someone they are not, just because of who I am and what they just found out. Because I had an eating disorder before they found out, and so I want them to act like they did then. Anyways, a lot of them are better now, but I don't see everyone very often anymore. Once a year, 0 to once a year. Some people I didn't see for like 3 years. But anyway, I don't know what else to say on that. People, if you find out someone you love, care about, whatever, has an eating disorder, treat them with respect, but don't change yourself all of a sudden just because you're afraid of what you might do. Be there for them, and that's good enough. Okay? Anyways, question of the week. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where I'd hope to be is have 2 to 3 more kids. But it probably won't be 3 because my husband only wants 2. I want more. So I'm lucky if I can get 3 kids total. But anyways, I can dream, right? I would love to be back in school, getting my degree or have finished a degree. Because of my eating disorder, I have not been able to complete school. And as of now, it's just hard because we don't have money for me to go back to school. Especially when my husband is kind of not wanting to fork over the money for it, when the possibility that I'll start school and then not be able to concentrate, start struggling, and then have to drop out, and we wasted more money. Which is what happened when I first married him. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to be able to convince him that I'm ready for school. But anyways, okay, aside from that, so 2 to 3 more kids in school or graduated. That would be freaking awesome. Have my store up and running smoothly. Constant flow of income would be awesome. So I can feel like I'm accomplishing something in this world and not just taking up space. Sarah, no. What else? I'll be homeschooling my kids, or my daughter anyways. The other ones might be a little too young, depending on when I can finally have them. And I so hope that I have livestock again. And that this wonderful kitty is still alive. And tormenting me. Yes, she should still be alive. She will be 4. So she'll be 9 in 5 years. Yeah, I would love to have a farm with livestock and showing animals again. I could go on, but those are the main things that I see that I would love to have in 5 years. So, what does everyone else see yourself doing in 5 years? Comment below, make a video response. Yeah, I'd love to hear. Anyways, talk to y'all later.